What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more hardcore, and we're back with another tune from the mighty Mokum label. I mentioned it before, Mokum, a Dutch label, there since the early 90s, putting out classic records for like 30 years now. We're going to listen to a tune on one of my favorite hardcore records ever. This is a record that came out in 2019, and it's the Twins Artcore, aka Daniele Scaccia, who also produces under the name Danny Tribe, and Slugnoid, aka David Stella. I've mentioned it before, this record is one of my most prized hardcore vinyl in my entire collection. One of my favorite tracks ever, which is a remix of an already great tune, I should add. But yeah, the Slugnoid remix of Roughneck Bass by Twins Artcore is on this record. And again, the original is great. It's on the Mokum Tenant series. But I think the remix is like even maybe a step perhaps in a different direction. I think they are like slightly different tunes, but bottom line, it's one of my all-time favorites. And indeed, we're going to listen to a tune called Come to Madness. It's by both of them, Slugnoid and Twins Artcore. It's a hardcore tune that I love because not only does it have a lot of acid, it's very like slithery, energetic acid, but it's sort of an enthusiastic hardcore tune. Some hardcore is sort of like heavy and dark and wicked and sort of evil sounding. This has a more like having it kind of feel. Like it's just like it's fun, enthusiastic hardcore. Not happy hardcore, mind you. It's definitely, you know, proper like early hardcore sort of Gabber sound, but yeah, it's not bent or like twisted or angry. It's just like enthusiastic and having it. And it is also themed around Italy, which, you know, I think the Netherlands will always get the sort of the mantle of being the sort of home and like conceptual stronghold of hardcore. You know, again, especially Rotterdam. But I would say after the Netherlands, I think Italy is like number 2 or even like 1B when it comes to representing hardcore and sort of, you know, continuing the hardcore sound into the modern era. And indeed, I would say, you know, so many of the great hardcore producers that I'm familiar with these days come from Italy or produce tracks on records that are released in Italy. So shout out to all the Italian hardcore people that I've come to know, especially Roberto, Formek, and also Byron, but also Daniele, Twins Artcore, and Danny Tribe, also David Stella, Slugnoid, also KCMA. Yeah, I've met several cool Italian hardcore producers who are as good people as they are hardcore DJs and artists. So yeah, but like I said, this tune is called Come to Madness by Slugnoid and the Twins Artcore. It's from 2019. Shout out once again to Mokum, not only for putting out this great record, but you know, they put out different versions. There's actually a gray, like marbled vinyl of this too. This is obviously a red colored vinyl, so love it when labels sort of go the extra distance and make the extra effort. But here we go. This is Come to Madness by Slugnoid and the Twins Artcore on Mokum Records 2019. And we'll see if I have the right RPM. Yeah. I love that sort of like electric like whistle, like it's like a creaky wheel on a like metal gurney. Little DJ chopping like on the vinyl. You can hear that acid quivering already. It's in the green room still. It's getting ready to come out for its main spotlight performance. Tell me about it. Lightly fishing along. Very like liquid, sort of fluid sound to it. But viscous, right? Like, not watery. like quasi Hoover riff, or the Mentasm sound if you prefer. Hard house in the mid to late 90s, we called it the Hoover sound. You just know, like you can feel the kick just ready to fucking drop. You listen to records long enough in a particular genre and like you know the score. For the record, you know, more people who don't come from the world of techno or hardcore are checking out my channel now, so if any of you happen to be watching this video, number one, respect for checking out something maybe outside your normal domain, but number two, if you've never been to a hardcore party, a real like hardcore party that's popping off in the main room, there's nothing like it. Literally nothing like it. Listen to that. It's like really kind of like electric chainsaw, but like mini electric chainsaw. I love the single-minded determination of the acid of this track. It's just... hard buzzing mechanical layer mixed with the like phasing in, fishing around the acid work. It's like the resolute with the ephemeral. Well, I would say that you speak excellent English for having come from Italy. But no, more seriously, I just love that track. Maybe my second favorite, feckin' favorite, or whatever I was going to say. Second favorite on the vinyl. There is another, I mean, all the tracks on this are good, and they have some different flavors. There's one on here that's like really hard and sort of like hip-hop style. There's another one that has like this floating female vocal, like very like ethereal and cinematic that comes in halfway through. Love that track. So yeah, there's more that I'll come back and react to on this one. As I said, if you're interested in hearing the Twins Artcore Roughneck Bass, the Slugnoid remix, go check this channel. It's already on there. You can check my hardcore playlist, or just search for Slugnoid remix, Roughneck Bass, Shnootz, and you'll find it. But yeah, it's a great tune. So we'll come back for more of this record. Let me know what you think of this one. Once again, shout out to all my Italian hardcore friends and producers who just make this music that is exactly the kind of hardcore I was looking for like 2 decades, but didn't realize. Which is to say, I discovered hardcore mid to late 90s, probably like 97. It was always like a secondary genre, meaning like I was trying to find acid techno and acid trance records once I got tables in 98. But I was looking for hardcore too, just at a slightly lesser rate, because, you know, my goal was to play like acid techno and acid trance at parties. I wanted to play hardcore too, but it was, you know, I was like a teenager in my early 20s. You don't have a whole lot of financial resources, so yeah, I had to sort of, you know, follow some genres more resolutely and others more sporadically. But even so, it was kind of like, I found some good hardcore records, definitely, but, you know, not always the kind that were like I wanted to hear. And it wasn't until like 2015 that I sort of returned to hardcore and was like, you know what, I really want to play more hardcore. I want to get more hardcore vinyl. Even then, it took me like another year and a half. It was like late 2016 around when I started like trying to pursue the Cenobite label, because it was like, oh, I remember that name, and I remember like there was some cool tracks. And eventually it like led me around, and I discovered in 2017 a tune by Roberto called, I was going to say The Power and the Glory, but that's the flip side. It's No Mortal Ever. And that tune just blew my mind, and it was like, oh my god, this is kind of the hardcore that I've been looking for but haven't quite been able to find. And that just led me to this gold mine, this whole other dimension of hardcore. So once again, big ups to Roberto and the other Italian hardcore producers. Shout out to Mokum. Classic, brilliant label. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time.